Okay, I am live. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Welcome back to my channel. This is the number one place for the more mature entrepreneur who has a business up and running or is getting a business up and running, who wants to understand how to do content marketing that can drive traffic to their business to do more business. We talk about content marketing on this channel on a variety of platforms. A lot of the time, as of late, I've been focusing on TikTok and Instagram Reels, especially over the last 2 years, because that's what tends to get my students' growth. I've been an entrepreneur for about 22 years. I have been a content marketing coach for over 8 years now. I have thousands of students across the globe. So trust me, and I've had plenty of students that about summer of 2020 onward, if they really leaned into TikTok marketing on behalf of their business, no singing, no dancing, that's not what they're doing. Most of them are not trying to follow an influencer model. They are leaning into TikTok because they're getting ridiculous reach. And if you know what you're doing in terms of optimizing your content, you're getting ridiculous reach. Same thing with Instagram Reels because Instagram wants to be competitive with TikTok. And really similarly, we could think about YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube Shorts, if you're using those, the extra benefit is Alphabet is the parent company for both YouTube and Google. So you're going to get ridiculous Google search results. You're going to rank up higher on an SERP or a search engine's results page when you're using YouTube Shorts. Can also work for your YouTube videos, but those are more competitive. There's now shelves showing up on search engine results that show YouTube Shorts, but also increasingly are showing TikTok videos as well. Okay. And also there's Pinterest. Some of my students use Pinterest. Pinterest is about a 50-50 type of platform in terms of those who identify as male as opposed to female. So pretty much no matter who you're selling to and what you're selling to them or what business model you're on, Pinterest is great. It's the third largest search engine on planet Earth behind Google and YouTube. Okay. And YouTube's the largest video-based search engine on earth. That could be called into question depending upon where TikTok goes over the next year to 2 years. We'll get into that. But also we are looking at, oh, hi, Heather. Hi, Lisa. What's going on? Some of my students are washing ashore. If you're here, hashtag live, hashtag replay. If you're watching on the replay, whether you're one of my students or not, again, I have thousands of those across the globe. Hashtag replay is important to me. I know some of you are in different time zones. I respect you're taking the time to, check in with us. If you have any questions about content marketing, please feel free to put it in the comments down below, not just live, but on the replay too, because on the replay, I check back usually about a day, to see what other questions and comments and concerns wash ashore on my live streams and replays. So hashtag live, hashtag replay, ask any content marketing type question that you want. Today, we're going to focus on TikTok because it is going to 10 minutes in length. Do I think you should be making content that's 10 minutes in length on TikTok? Do I not think you should do it? Where do I think this is going to go in the next business quarter or two? I have my answers for you. Of course, I've been researching my back channels and stuff like that. And I do think that, especially if you've been a student of mine or even a YouTube subscriber for a while, I don't give junk advice. So, right? And I have plenty of students who have gone to multiple 5, 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and I now can claim 2 7-figure businesses, multiple 7-figure businesses under my belt. One I can tell you about is Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. So they went from barely profitable in 2016 to 7-figure business in 2018, and they have been 7 figures and climbing ever since. But I also have students who are coaches and course creators and products and handmade products and all sorts of stuff, services. So I know a thing or two about a thing or two after 8 years of coaching people. So we're going to talk about TikTok a bit because going to 10 minutes, that was announced about a day or so ago. And I do think it's important. Now I'm going to tell you why. I also want to talk about Pinterest. I know that Pinterest is trying to get the folks, who are creating their boards and having their accounts to think of themselves more as influencers. And, they want you to build up more communities. I'm going to tell you what I think about that. I'm definitely going to discuss why I don't think on any platform follow for follow or like for like works. Besides the fact that it's just violative of terms of service, no platform ever wants you to do that. I triple dog dare you to like contact any platform, including but not limited to Pinterest, and say, hey, is it okay if we just follow for follow to beef up our numbers? Your account's probably going to get shut down. God, I dare you. But do I think they want you to get more likes and engagements? Yes, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you from a business owner's perspective how much of an accent mark you throw on getting more engagement on Pinterest versus doing what I think you need. Well, what I know you need to do on Pinterest. Good morning, Miss Laura. Music Chick Art is here as well. Lenore Love is here. Hey, Lenore. Okay, so before I get into these two main things and then answering your questions, my March marketing mini course is available for an extra day. We had some tech issues, and I know some people were like, ooh, one more day. I'm getting paid or I'm getting money, and I couldn't buy the other couple days. So here you go. I'm pinning it, and I will put it in the description at the beginning of the description of the live once it goes replay, but I can pin it while it's live. So that's the link. It's an 8-lesson mini course that is for a tiny bite-sized price that will help you with March-based marketing, relationship marketing, sales-based marketing, things that are a bit of both. Of course, you can think about St. Patrick's Day as a great excuse to run a sales promotion, but like other than St. Patrick's Day, what can you do throughout the month of March? No matter what kind of business model you have, what you're selling and who you're selling it to, I stand behind my mint batch of frosted course. Also, if you're looking for a free group or if you're in this group already, I put a post in there today about the proper optimal sizes of your social media or your content when posting on any platform that's super active right now. And that includes TikTok. And I'm going to give you a little tip about how to use TikTok and Instagram stuff, especially with this new 10-minute limit that they're rolling out right now. If you're in my content marketing, here's my free Facebook group, content marketing for conversions. So if you're already in that group, definitely check out today's helpful post. Sometimes I create posts, sometimes I curate posts, and of course I credit the sources. So today's resource is huge because we are going to talk a little bit later on during this live about content multiplication, which is one of the 5 rings of content marketing that I teach my free and paid students about. In fact, if you get into the content marketing for conversions Facebook group, it's free. I'll just review you to make sure you're not a bot and let you in. In the files section of that Facebook group, there's 2 free PDF downloads that will help you with content marketing, whether you're a solopreneur or a small business owner who may have a team that can help you do some things, but this is really how you can greatly increase the power of your content marketing. Again, I've been a content marketing coach for 8 years and an entrepreneur for 22. Bridget says, we're doing a March Madness sale this week, launching with our weekly live. Good girl. Lisa Garrett is here. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Says hashtag live, hashtag replay. Okay, Lisa and Bridget, you guys just came on, so I'm going to deal with TikTok first, the update, my thoughts, Pinterest, and trying to get folks to pinners to be like more influencers and building up communities, the good, the bad, and the ugly that people are pushing, and why I think certain things are important if it happens organically, but why you don't stoke things or have people help you stack the deck when it comes to getting more engagement and kind of building communities around your Pinterest accounts. And then we are going to talk about content multiplication, especially between Instagram with IGTVs and these 10 minutes, up to 10-minute videos that you can now start posting as they roll it out to YouTube. Hey, Miss Heidi, what's going on? All right, hold on just a second. Miss Renee, she's such a sweetheart. Okay. Oh, and I'm Chicken Swallows here. What's going on? Hi, Stacey. Hashtag live. Yes, hashtag live, hashtag replay. Okay, so get in the free Facebook group if you don't already and pick up those 2 freebies. And if you're interested in a mini course bite-sized priced 8 lessons to help you through marketing, relationship, and sales-based marketing in March, and setting yourself up for the spring season that kicks in like late March, early April. That is for you. It's a honey sweet deal at the price. All right, so let's talk about the 10-minute limit that they're now going to ungate for people who are posting content to TikTok. Let's do that. So this is news as of the last, say, 48 hours while we're live. And so some people I know are still like not getting on TikTok because you feel like you don't want to dance and sing and all that stuff. And you really don't have to if you don't want to. If occasionally, you want to ride a trend and you can make the point that you want to make as a more mature entrepreneur, hey, go for it. I'm never going to discourage you. But some of my students are having a forest trees issue when it comes to TikTok and for Instagram Reels. And if you're on YouTube, possibly also pumping out some YouTube shorts. Remember when Instagram was young 10 years ago, or maybe even 8 years ago when it was starting to get traction? And then like Facebook, now Meta bought it, and people were making like 6 and 7 figures and beyond off Instagram. They really built up their followings, and everybody said, oh, that's not fair. I wish that were me. If only I knew then what I know now, life would be so different for me. God hates me. I never ever managed to like hit it rich. You could do it now if you wanted to. Like summer 2020 was really gangbusters time. I had a lot of students shoot to 6 figures, or if they had 6-figure businesses, increase their businesses 15, 20% or more, whether they were selling jewelry or they were selling textiles, whether they were attorneys building a solo practice, and or they were running affiliate income. Anybody who really jumped the train, no matter how crappy they were on Instagram Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, they had a better than average chance of going supersonic with their businesses. I still think if you understand what you're doing now, in general, you can still rank on YouTube Shorts. I'm not going to get too into Shorts today, but I will say you could just sweep it under the same rug as Instagram Reels or TikTok. So now TikTok is, but if you started to get even somewhat savvy about optimizing your content through Reels or TikTok, you could rank very, very well, because the fastest growing demographic on TikTok, let's say right now, is people 30 and above, period. So all the folks that say that they want to sell to millennials and adults, and all the folks that said they didn't want to get on to TikTok because it's all for kids, as of last summer, it was 52% more adults than kids anyway. Now it's at almost 53% as of like this snapshot in time, but it's also rapidly growing. And I do think that this has something to do with why they are unlocking the up to 10 minutes feature. You're welcome to, if you have TikTok, check to see if you have the feature yet. Of course, I would make sure that your app has been updated, so this way, you catch the update. If it's not on like an auto update, you always should think about updating any sort of app or software before you go, well, I don't have it yet. But they did say they're still in the process of rolling it out all over the world. Let me just, hey, Miss Amy Lindblade. So I have several thoughts about why they're doing it and why it's so important in this snapshot of time that they do it. And if you miss this window of opportunity, I'm not saying you have to go to 10 minutes, but just hear me out here, because you might be older, you might feel like you're overweight, you might feel like I don't want another learning curve, but I'm telling you, you miss this window of opportunity, it's going to be like you were shunning Instagram in general 10, 9, 8, 7 years ago. Okay. And then after like say 8, 7, 6 years, it started to get so competitive with so many entrepreneurs, so much content marketing going on, that you had to get better still to get any traction. Like I have my Socialgram Shortcut Instagram deep dive course, which I'm in the process of revamping. and I'm going to relaunch in the next week. I really, really am. It's a big course. So I want to make sure that it's completely revamped before I roll it out. So we'll probably be discussing that next week. And then I have Social Talk Shortcut, which is a deep dive course that I also want to remaster. The information in that course is completely still good. It's just that we're now going to be able to go up to 10 minutes. So, but I'm telling you, if you miss this window of opportunity because of whatever excuse you want to cook up for yourself, you're going to be kicking yourself later. You are. So really quickly, I'm going to get into like 2-3 thoughts that I have about why right now they've unlocked that up to 10-minute feature, right? Whether you have it now or you're going to get it, make sure that app is updated before you check. At some point soon, everyone's going to have the up to 10-minute ability unlocked. And then what I think you should do as a beginner, intermediate, and advanced to take advantage of that. Then we're going to talk about Pinterest. And then we're going to talk about, if we have any time remaining, cross-pollination of content and how to do it intelligently. So Bridget says, my Reels and TikToks are getting steady views. I am so proud of Miss Bridget. She was a total beginner when it came to content marketing, very experienced entrepreneur, but a total beginner. And man, the traction she's getting, I am so proud of her. She says, my Reels and TikToks are getting steady views, not thousands, but steadily over 500 views. I'm experimenting on both, but I'm digging the super short format. I don't want 10 minutes. You may not have to do it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on that in this snapshot of time too. I think you're good, but I want us to start future-proofing. Lisa Spangler says, I don't think my customers are on TikTok. Quilters 35 to 50. What is the age range? Oh, Miss Lisa, you want to have the excuse not to get into the app. Guess what? Age 30, 40, that is definitely going supersonic right now on TikTok. Another stress test for whether or not your ideal customer is on TikTok? I don't care what you're selling. I don't care who you're selling to. You don't believe me? Download that darn app if you haven't. It's free to do so. And then forget what it's showing you in the beginning. It might be showing you stuff that isn't your desired content, right? But as you start consuming content, that platform in a day or two is going to start serving up stuff that's more curated for your content consumption patterns. So be patient. One of my students, Julie Tennant, made me laugh my face off. She's so funny. She's usually funny, but she had said, Stacey, I'm following what you said. I downloaded the app and I'm telling you, I'm studying the content that's on there on day one. And I feel like an old lady standing out on my lawn, yelling at all these kids to go get off my lawn. And I'm like, start training it with your content consumption. It's going to suggest stuff that you cleave to. You can also press and long hold on videos and say, I don't want to see content like this anymore. And that'll give you the hurry up offense. But Lisa, and anyone else that's going to try and dismiss me and say to TikTok, you're adult people with disposable income, 30s, 40s, 50s, even older. But most of us want to sell to those that have disposable income. So that's 30s, 40s, 50s. Let's not dismiss the Gen X crowd. They're going to be in their prime, making their highest and best money for the next 10 to 15 years themselves. But if millennials is what you want, 30s, 40s is more where you want, I don't argue with that. But here's the stress test. You're going to click on, hold on. Let me just stop. Okay. So you're going to click on, it might be hard to see, but it's actually not today, for joy. Okay. So on the bottom, once you're in the app, you're going to be confronted with following and for you. So for you is going to be queued up. And again, it's what the algorithm thinks, given your current consumption pattern, what you'd like. Following is the other tab up top that once you start following people, that's all their content too that they posted. But on the bottom, this is your stress test, and then nobody has any excuses. You go down to where it says discover, and then it's going to bring you to the discover page with all the trends and stuff like that. But up top is the search feature. So this gets to be hard to see because it's all whited out. But on that search page, if I put in Lisa Spangler, for example, who desperately wants to believe that her people aren't on there. So let's say quilters. Let's do keyword or hashtag. It should work the same. Quilters of TikTok, for example. Oh, Lisa Spangler. Guess what? Quilters of TikTok currently has 65 million views on the dime. Oh, it's all whited out because this part isn't in dark mode. Quilters, 6.3 million views. TikTok quilter, 37,500 views. Let's see. Let's just do quilting. Quilting. Hashtags. Because up top, you can go the top posts, users, videos, sounds, live, and then hashtags. So I would always want to go to hashtags when I'm gauging the presence of my ideal customer, because all your ideal customers, no matter who they are, no matter what they want, no matter what their main pain point is on TikTok or any other platform, they're binging on content that has to do with their main pain point if they have a problem they want solved, or a main passion point if they just love, say, quilting and they can't get enough, right? So quilting has currently 131.5 million views on hashtags that are using that content. Using on content that's using that hashtag. Hashtag quilt is 332.5 million. They have quilting challenges that are in the thousands. Quilting time, almost 2,000. Quilting stand. I mean, so many words that have to do with quilting. Hand quilting is at 1.9 million. Machine quilting, 8.3 million. Quilting is my therapy. I could go on and on and on. Boom. Your people are on there, Lisa Spangler. Get on TikTok. I'm saying it because I love you, not to be nasty. You guys know. Well, those people who are my students live and on the replay know. Newbies might be like, oh, but I'm being honest. I am not doing my job if I just tell you guys, oh, let's all digitally spoon together. Why don't you just stay on Facebook? It's nice and safe there. And why don't you put content up on Instagram, but don't do the scary reels because, that might involve you getting on video camera and you don't like that. So, you know what? If I sat there and taught you guys stuff that worked great 3 years ago, but not so great now, you'd all be yelling at me because stuff isn't working and it's time to hang it up or the algorithms hate you. That's not true. For my woodworkers, you'll love this analogy. When you're working wood, you want to go with the grains of the wood. When you're going against the grains of the wood, you can make things work, but it's a lot harder and it's a lot trickier to do. So when you're working with wood, you want to go with the grains of the wood. What I'm going to talk about today with the up to 10-minute limit on TikTok, where I see this going and why, because they're really doing this fast. They went to 3 minutes over the 1 minute or 60 seconds they were at for years. They went to 3 minutes last summer. So it hasn't been anywhere near a year, and they're already pushing up to 10 minutes. There's a reason why TikTok's doing this, a couple reasons. So I really want to, they're saying they're doing it so that the content consumers can experiment more with creativity. And I'm not saying that's a lie, but that's not the main reason why. That's the tail wagging the dog. And TikTok's not doing anything wrong. TikTok's doing what any other smart platform or platform owners are doing. So, Lisa, I just busted you out. Bridget says, my audience on TikTok is mostly women 45 to 55, according to the analytics. Heidi says, Spicy Stacey has entered the building. I know. Onika Ben Schwartz from Design Pretty, who's now so busy she can't even be on these lives anymore. She used to love, she called it the Stacey soapbox. I would get up on the soapbox and I would freak out. And then I would apologize. And she's like, I love that. We need that. So, and Amy Lindblade is, so thank you for that, Heidi. And then Amy Lindblade says, TikTok does have quilters getting lots of views. You won't regret checking it out. So thank you, Amy. Does anybody else feel like maybe your people aren't on TikTok? It's such a lie that we tell ourselves because we're still casting our memory back to when this app was Musical.ly, or maybe a year and a half ago when it was still more kids and not more adults. It's been more adults since the summer of last year. And again, talking to people on my back channels, and even if you scoped around on YouTube, if anyone's talking about more current algorithms right now, and more current updates with TikTok, folks are saying 30 to 40 and above are the fastest growing demographic on TikTok. So even if magically somehow your people weren't on there before, now and probably going back months back, they're getting on. There is no excuse. And this is the silver bullet you were looking for. It really, really is on TikTok. We're going to talk about Pinterest in a few minutes, but and I do like Pinterest too. It's the largest image-based search engine in the world, and it's the third largest search engine in the world behind Google and YouTube. But so I don't want to pay Pinterest short shrift. But thank you for that, Miss Amy. So TikTok, why is it's not even really more than a couple of months since they pushed up to 3 minutes, and now they're unlocking the 10-minute feature? Here are my thoughts. Besides allowing creatives to have more room to run and to experiment, yeah, but tail wagging the dog, because as of last summer, with people 30 to 40, statistics showed that 30s to 40-year-olds were spending more time on TikTok than YouTube already. Like, I could have maybe seen that a year or two from now. TikTok is like the app that ate Manhattan. It's the app that's eating the globe. So whether you like it or not, or you're scared of it or not, it is what it is. It's not going away. The end. Some countries that were a little worried and was looking at security features, they've unlocked the ability to get and use the app again. The search is over. Call off the dogs. This is where you need to go. Okay. So I think that TikTok saw that already they're starting to really be competitive with YouTube. And it's got to really piss off the people at Instagram/Instagram Reels, because they were creating Reels to stay competitive with TikTok. And they kind of are, but TikTok's shellacking them, but they're still in the hunt. Instagram/Instagram Reels. Not at all would I discourage you from creating Instagram Reels. But what I'm saying is TikTok's beating them. TikTok's already super competitive with YouTube. IGTV, or Instagram TV, was meant to be a long-term play, and the CEO at the time said it was a long-term play to be competitive with YouTube. Well, guess what? TikTok came skating in and said, long-term this fool, and they're already competitive with YouTube as of last summer with 30 and 40-year-olds. Okay. And Gen X is coming on to all these platforms in bigger numbers as well, especially post pandemic, because on lockdown, a lot of older folks had nothing to do. And so it kind of took what was in a crock pot or an instant pot in terms of growth speed for that Gen X demographic and some baby boomers too, and it threw them in the microwave. So everything is bigger, harder, faster, more, right? So here's the thing. TikTok is like, we're already competitive for one demographic slice. We want to continue to be competitive and eventually pull folks off YouTube more to TikTok, because they're going to see that whether it's shorts or long form content, they need to come here. If TikTok had just stayed at 3 minutes or less, they would have a hard time pulling people from YouTube more. Now you could post a YouTube video up and you can reformat it to the size that's needed to go vertical video for TikTok. And if it's under 10 minutes, you can repurpose that YouTube video there. And eventually, I believe the hope is that TikTok's going to make YouTube less and less relevant. The way, I hate to say it, Facebook is kind of slowly but surely becoming less and less relevant. Don't believe me? You could Google their last business quarter earnings. They fell. And this is the first time that they shrank by users and didn't gain to have a net of zero or growth. I'm not saying Facebook's deader than disco and disco made its comeback. But if you are just reflexively saying, I'm only going to do Facebook, or I'm only going to post feed posts on Instagram, and maybe I'll post an Instagram story a day, you can do that. But please don't expect that you're going to have supersonic growth the way you would if you were using Reels. Reels are getting disproportionate push or algorithmic compulsion. They're compelling your Reels to go on to the explore page for however long of a period of time because Instagram desperately wants to stay in the hunt with TikTok. Same thing with shorts on YouTube for my YouTube people. I would do those, or I would continue to do those, and you will be on a shelf if you've optimized properly in a Google search too, so that can grow you. Just like your pins on Pinterest, you can do SEO optimization for those and rank well within minutes to hours on Pinterest for search, and even suggested on someone's, like, say, home feed. And you can rank not much longer than that in a Google search as well with your Pinterest pins. And now you're seeing TikToks come up, and you've been seeing shorts come up. If you've been searching a variety of topics, you've been seeing the different shelves. So, and this is only going to continue. So, if you just want to stick with Facebook and Instagram, but not video and not reels and not video on Instagram and nothing on YouTube, you're just not going to do video at all. It's going to be kind of like running your business with VHS and Betamax. And you're thinking maybe you can kind of go Blu-ray when everyone else is streaming. Does that make sense to you guys? Why don't you comment down below if that makes sense or not? If you're struggling and you feel like you can be vulnerable and transparent, please share that too. I want to support you. I want the community to support you. We're a really supportive community. So number one, I think that sure, TikTok's letting creatives get more creative because they're allowing them more room to run. But number two, they're already competitive with YouTube for those that are in their 30s to early 40s. So now they are like, wow, I really want to be competitive with YouTube more. And if we start giving people, if we become on TikTok the kid with all the cake, then people who are even like, oh, I don't want to do short form video content. Oh, wait, they're allowing up to 10 minutes. I have videos I can reformat and put up there and see if I can get traction. And you're probably going to get a ton of traction for a while, even with reformatted YouTube videos that you may already have. If you don't have those, then you could create videos and at least be less concerned if you're going to hit 2, 3, 4 minutes. Am I saying go to 10 minutes or try to get close to 10 minutes? No, not necessarily. So people like Bridget who are like, my stuff's doing good right now, I don't really want to create up to 10-minute videos. I'm not saying you have to. For those of you that can repurpose, guess what? Your IGTV videos, if you have any of those going around now, Instagram TV, that's the same vertical format and aspect ratio and everything that you could put onto TikTok. And once you are capable of streaming up to 10 minutes, you should see a message in your box that confirms that for you from TikTok. Then guess what? Then I would start repurposing, because that's like the fastest way, if you can, from IGTV to TikTok. That's the fastest way to quick and dirty get stuff going. If you don't have IGTV or Instagram TV videos, you don't have YouTubes to reformat or YouTube Shorts, then you know what? Because Shorts, I think, still goes up to 60 seconds. And the same thing with Reels. I bet you the not too distant future, you're going to see Instagram say, oh, now Reels are to 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something more. Because if they don't, they're going to be eating even more of TikTok's dust, okay? But I also think, why would you get extra algorithmic like compulsion or push for a little bit longer videos, even if they're not 10 or 9 minutes? Because TikTok wants to stupid, crazy reward you, so you keep doing the same thing. They want you to get that dopamine hit so that you keep creating. Even if in the beginning you're just repurposing and creating, there'll be a small window of time where that'll probably be fine. It'll still get you supersonic reach. And then at some point you might see repurposing fatiguing, but fresh stuff you upload will do well, right? But this is so new. I bet you for months and months and months, your longer videos going up to TikTok will do well, even if they're only 3, 4, 5 minutes, okay? But I know that TikTok will give you extra push because they want that to be successful. And now I've already told you earlier in the live stream why they want and need for it to be successful, because YouTube is all sorts of AdSense revenue that they generate. If you get into the partner program and you're approved, they will, give you a part of that. Most creators, the best deal you can get is what most creators have, which is you keep 55% of the AdSense revenue and YouTube keeps 45%. If they think your stuff's immature or somehow troublesome, but it still passes muster and folks will run ads on it, you might get less. Currently, YouTube pays their creators more than TikTok does out of its creator fund. But TikTok's not stupid. They say, if we can get the longer videos on, we can start pulling more adults with more disposable income, 30s, 40s, 50s. You're still in your prime in your 50s. Then you know what? We can get their watch time up on this platform. We can show advertisers all of the demographics and the other analytics to say, hey, run ads here. It's not just kids, tweens, and teens or super young 20s, and they have little to no disposable income. No, no, no. It's 30s, 40s, 50s. These are people approaching their prime, in their prime, going to be in their prime for another 10 to 15 years. They have disposable income. They like TikTok. They're using it. They're on it longer and longer, still over YouTube. And now we basically are a vertical format of YouTube. Oh, you can run your ads here. So those people who are experimenting it with ads will double down. Those who haven't been running ads because they're like, I'm not selling my stuff to kids. Now they're like, whoa, hold up. Now I'm going to be running ads. And then TikTok's going to be able to pay their creators out of the creator fund then even more and see the long-term strategy. When you think like an entrepreneur and you understand algorithms and the business purpose of these platforms, you now start to realize, oh, she sees the pattern. It's like if you ever saw the movie, the Lego movie, and once Emmett became a master builder, he's like, now I see everything. I'm telling you, this is what this is. What do you guys think about what I just shared? And then we're going to go to Pinterest next. Yeah, we do have time for Pinterest next for sure. Amy Lindblade says, I'm kind of excited about the 10 minutes as I would like some more demos that don't really work well in 3 minutes or less, and I can double post to YouTube. Yes, you can, girl. You've come a long way too in terms of your thought process and your implementation. And I know it's going to get even better for you still, Miss Amy. So anybody who's in a products-based business sort of thing, whether it's handmade or not, print on demand or not, sublimation, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can demo your products, and up to 3 minutes, you could do quite a bit. It's not such a time crunch the way it is 60 seconds or less. Currently in this snapshot of time, videos that perform best right now are between 30 to 45 seconds, but it's pushing to a minute. But the older your audience is, so 30s, 40s, 50s is what a lot of you guys are shooting for. Too much younger, don't have much disposable income. Too much older, I know we're painting with a broad brushstroke, who's on a fixed income, who's retired, whatever. So 30s, 40s, 50s is like where most of you probably want to land, right? So what was I saying? Oh, so, you could do product spotlights in a minute and now up to 3 minutes. But Amy's right. You want to do a demo of a product line. You want to do an unboxing of a product line, a mock unboxing. You want to show off I teach solution sets, so your core plus 2 products, right? You could do that and you could, build your ticket so someone's not just swooping in and hitting you up in the messages and saying, how do I buy that? Where do I go? Give me the link. Now they're like, I want 2 or all 3 of those things, right? But you need more time to do that in comfortably. The older you are, the more you need that time. The younger you are, the more you're like, okay, maybe I can trim off all the seconds and pull it off. So I do like that. Yes, that's allowing you to do your demos, share more tips, tricks, and techniques, and all of that stuff. So I like that. Okay, so now let's talk about Pinterest. So Pinterest is trying to be more, it's definitely biggest on being a search engine. That does not change. Pinterest has said nothing that, and I defy you to show me where, because I haven't seen it. Pinterest hasn't said anything about being just a social media platform or just a community-based platform. Pinterest is trying to encourage over the last year or so more users, more pinners to be thinking of themselves as influencers. So yes, you want to rank your pins pin by pin and board by board so that it's SEO optimized, search engine optimization. You want keywords, you want long tail keywords, you want natural language in your pin, like title description. You don't want keyword stuffing where it's just words next to each other and little to no natural language connecting it. That's really the quick and dirty difference between keyword optimization or natural keywords versus keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is going to trip spam filters. Your stuff will be either shadow banned or they will just come out and tell you that it's spammy. When you're shadow banned, I don't even like to use that term. You will find that stuff where there's keyword stuffing and say the pin descriptions, that stuff won't perform as well. It may have some performance, but you're like, why isn't it doing better? It's because it's not natural language, so it doesn't make for a good user experience on the platform, number one, and that's where Pinterest is coming from. And then number two, it wants a good user experience. It doesn't want anybody gaming the system. So just because Pinterest has been talking about community and encourage people to like and to try things that you show or showcase in your pins and, to recognize any sort of comments or whatever like that, sure, any sort of engagement data points, if somebody taps on your pin to open it up and read the description, that's a data point. If somebody taps on the link that's in your pin description, even though they're leaving Pinterest isn't really like punishing you for doing that, but it counts as a data point. You are interacting and engaging with the content. You're clicking the link. If you leave a comment or anything else that you can do for a pin, and if it's a video pin, if you watch it and rewatch it, you watch the video all the way through, you rewatch it and stuff like that. Yes, these are all data points that the Pinterest algorithm will love. And so the more people are engaging with your content, the longer they're staying on the platform, the better the user experience. So of course, Pinterest may reward you with additional algorithmic push or reach. I did a course about a year ago, social pin shortcut, and all that stuff's in there. What I'm saying isn't like a hot flash from the newsroom if you've been one of my students. What I will say is, just so we're clear, getting people to like or to follow your account on Pinterest, of course, these are positive data points. What you don't want to do is encourage a like for like, follow for follow situation. Number one, not just Pinterest, but every social media platform has in its terms of service, terms of use, don't do that. Why? You're just gaming the system. They don't want to encourage it. Number one. Number two, it's not just because it's not the nice thing to do. They're getting more and more people to do the ad-based pins, right? So they want to show advertisers, whether it's other pinners, big companies, whatever, they want to show them data that's actually real. So they don't like it when you're sitting there and following and liking and maybe commenting on each other's stuff, but you're not real customers or ideal customers, right? Because then if I'm like a big company and Pinterest is trying to make it even more attractive for me to run ads on Pinterest through my ad-based pin, I'll have a team create that content and whatever, and I'll spend ad spend on it. I'm going to get master jam pissed if it turns out I'm not getting good ROI, return on investment, for my ads. So if everyone's gaming up the system, they've got a lot of fat that they need to trim off, or advertisers are going to go, you know what? No, or I'll still spend money, but I'm really going to spend money on TikTok because that's where it's real. You don't want to do that, okay? You need to really think like the entrepreneur that you are, but put yourselves in the shoes of Pinterest. Under no circumstances is Pinterest encouraging anybody to like for like, comment for comment, or what have you. And I just gave you the two reasons why. Also, and I shared an article in my social pin shortcut Facebook group. So if you're in there because you bought the course or it was a legacy course that you got because Renee Christine retired Pinterest Academy, and I was a nice person. I gave those folks, and we have a database to double check between Renee and I, who actually, purchased Pinterest Academy in the past. So, okay, we were giving them social pin shortcut to be nice. But some people are still pretending like what Renee taught in Pinterest Academy is still good. Like we'll have group boards and we'll just pin and pin and pin. In my course, I go through chapter and verse why it's a bad thing to do, but it's going to trigger spam filters. People's accounts can get shut. Your reach can be dumbed down because that isn't good for the user experience. Pinning and repinning the same pin over and over again of yours, even to your own boards or new boards. Think about it. When you have that much duplication on a platform, is the user experience what it should be? No, it's not. That's why Pinterest went to fresh pins. You can take the pin that you've already pinned up. You can once in a blue repin it on a board if it makes sense. If it makes sense, is that there's a causal connection or a nexus between the pin that you're pinning and the board that's on. But when I say causal connection or nexus, when we're talking about the Pinterest algorithms that did huge jumps forward in terms of complexity on that platform, especially 2019, 20, and beyond, you like or follow too many boards in like a half an hour, you're going to get a notice. You could get a notice that says that that's spammy behavior, right? So even trying to do that, bench press it out. Screw that, Stacey Storino. We're desperate. We want to make our pins and our boards and our accounts look like they're real. So we're just all going to stack the deck. Guess what? You're probably going to get triggering the spam filter, and it's a pain in the butt to try and get your account unlocked, right? So causal connection or nexus between a pin and a board is the SEO that's on your pin, the words on your pin / title and description, the keywords that you're using on the pin and the board. If these things don't match or they're not about 6 degrees of separation, I go through that in my social pin shortcut, what that is, how the algorithm works. We don't know every last thing about the Pinterest algorithm, but they kind of have algorithms that run like other platforms do, and then they have their own in-house kind of algorithms that kind of falls under that 6 degree of separation rubric. If it's not connected enough and it doesn't make sense to the algorithm in an SEO based way, you're going to get reduced reach. You're pinning too many times, it's spam. You're pinning the same pin over and over again, it's spam, and or those extra pins are no good. I would rather you at this stage of the game pin once to twice a day, because the days of doing 25 to 50 pins are over. If you have any group boards, I just leave it. The back channels and the articles that are out in the front make it kind of clear. Just leave it. Just don't do anything more with it, right? You want to delete it, fine. You don't have to. It's not going to make anything better or worse, but stop doing it and stop participating in it. And if you have Tailwind, I'm even hearing that those Tailwind tribes things don't work so well anymore either. And for all the reasons that I said, it's too triggering of spam filters. TikTok would rather there be quality as opposed Pinterest would rather there be quality over quantity. That's why 25 to 50 pins / repins a day are kind of a no-no. Lenore says, I was grandfathered in from Pinterest Academy. Do you have an estimate of how long your new version takes to work through? I keep avoiding it because of overwhelm. Well, it's going to be hours because I got to be honest with you. It's SEO based. It's SEO based. We play to win. So it's the third largest search engine on earth, and you can rank a pin in minutes to hours on Pinterest alone. And then you can get good standing a whole lot faster with a pin than you might. It depends on how your website ranks on Google itself. You might be able to rank a pin on Pinterest faster than a page or a post on your website. It depends. So Lenore, I'm not going to tell you that it's like an 8-lesson mini course, because it's not. And for you to really get good traction on Pinterest, if you don't otherwise have a good thing going, this is how you do it. But because it's SEO, we go through Google, we go through search engine results pages, we go through keywords and natural language versus not. I break it down lesson by lesson, so no lessons like these live streams, that's for sure. They're shorter, but there is no way to kind of half-ass going through Pinterest. I'm not saying that's what you want to do, Lenore. I am not. But If you're just like, oh, I don't want to listen to her, I'm just going to keep repinning. Good. And when you're not like multiple 5 to 6 figures by the end of the year, I'm not shocked because you're not going with the grains of the wood that's on Pinterest in this case. So yes, Pinterest would love it if your pinners liked your stuff enough to leave a comment or to engage with the pin in any of the other ways that they can. And that's going to help you. But also the algorithms are seeing who's in a pod, just like it broke open big time on Instagram when pods were getting busted and disgusted and people were losing their accounts. These algorithms see what you're doing, they see what all those people are doing, and they're either going to give everybody who's in these hyperactive pods demerits, or they could give you a fit, and then you're like, my stuff isn't performing. Why? If it's not crazy bad, that might be all you get. You might also get a message that you triggered a spam filter, and now you have to contact the company to get your account unlocked, which is not quick and easy to do usually. You want that? I don't think so. So people could say, quick, everybody, let's like and follow for follow. And then you get the social proof, and then more people are likely to engage with you. That's what they were doing on Instagram 2016, 17, and 18 until it broke all over the news. So look up Instagram pods, follow for follow, do a search on Google and put it for like 2018. And you're going to see article after article where they were doing this big sting and a lot of accounts got closed and people went, yikes, because they don't want those pods. All everyone's doing is stacking the deck. And then they can't really show the advertisers who are going to spend the money, honey, on the platform for ads. They're not going to be able to show them real stats. And so if there's too much of a big disconnect between all the engagement and all the time that people are spending, and it's not truly organic, then the advertisers aren't likely to get their ROI. So these platforms aren't making it a bad thing on their terms of service because they have little halos over their heads. They might mean well, but at the end of the day, they have to give the advertisers the ROI that they need. Ah. Oh, Renee, she's funny. So yeah, I mean, Social Pin Shortcut is a much longer course than Pinterest Academy was. But then again, Renee didn't have to worry about SEO back then. It wasn't as much of a thing. It wasn't as important. And she did advocate the use of group boards in 2000, 15, 16, maybe 17 or so. That when that course was really, really live, she sold it. Then it was a bonus for a year. And things were kind of starting to change. And when Renee realized that things had really, really changed, we started discussing updating the course in 2019. And when I was still partnered up with her, I was like, fine, I'll do it because nobody else could get to it. And I'm a monster when it comes to courses. So I did it. It's not that no one else cared. I was just like, did it. And it was a freebie. Whoever didn't have the course could buy it. Some people did, but a lot of people on Renee's list had it. So, and I know that some people were like, what? It's not Renee teaching it? What? You're getting all detailed about SEO. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. Well, too bad. It's not 2015, 16, 17, 18 anymore. We're in the 2020s, y'all. Come on. Bridget says, Lenore, eat that elephant as slowly as you need. Bridget's right. Take one module a week or a month and really digest it. I'm still not done with digesting most of Stacey's stuff, but I do a module every 2 weeks. Pace yourself, Lenore. I still don't see any reason for me to do a massive up. I'm not going to be updating that course this year. I might module 6 or 5, whatever the last module is, because I haven't had to go in and update it. The last module is only like 1 or 2 lessons anyway, and it's talking about the fact that that last module is where I'm going to put any updates for the course for the foreseeable future. And so like I had one quick lesson that was like a wrap up of the big difference between what you might have learned in Pinterest Academy at the end of the day and what Social Pin Shortcut is teaching you. So, I mean, except for 1 or 2 smallish things, like they're not doing video covers anymore. Like, who cares? That wasn't even anything that I was really pushing on. But video pins, yes, video pins are getting all sorts of extra algorithmic boost. Why? because Pinterest doesn't want to become a quaint antiquated thing, even if it would be a couple years down the road before it got there. They're a business. They have to do short-term planning and long-term planning, same as any of you watching live or on the replay. So, they want to start putting videos in there. They've been, and video paid ads too. They've been, and they want pinners to now have an updated vision of themselves as influencers, which I guess is fine. But at the end of the day, anything that I taught you in that course is what they're encouraging you to do. Sure, they're encouraging you to build a community, but don't violate their terms of service. Don't do any sort of like stacking the deck, because all of you will end up being busted one way or another. The algorithms are way smarter than any human is. Sooner or later, the activity is too repetitive and the filters go off. So, years ago, Renee on our YouTube channel, she and her husband, Tom Cody, were talking about how there were pods of support. And for a brief period of time, they promoted it. But by the time you hit 2018 and all the stings went down, they stopped. It was something that the platforms weren't going too crazy about. And after a while, they got aggravated. And then they were like, okay, we're going to announce it with this big sting and, an update to our terms of service. And that's that, folks. So if anybody else is selling you like some sort of app, or get on this app, or join this follow pod in a free or for paid group on any platform, don't do it. Save your money. Go look at the terms of service. And I'm going to tell you, don't just look at bloggers whining and opining. They don't own the platform. They're not official word on the mount for a platform. You know who is? The help documents that the platform puts out. Any sort of communications that you can have with employees of the platform. And of course, the terms of service or terms of use for the platform. That's what you pay attention to, not other people whining and opining. I know it would be so much easier to grow on any platform if we all did a like for like or follow for follow train. If we all just repetitively shared each other's stuff. But if you just do a Google search on Instagram, pods, follow for follow 2018, you're going to see, much to your abject sorrow, that Facebook, Instagram, now Meta, is busting that stuff. TikTok doesn't want that stuff. And Pinterest does not want that stuff. They are not asking you to stack the deck. They are asking you to organically think of yourself as an influencer on Pinterest, and do try to comment on people's comments, and if you post, like, I encourage you to, like, in the description of your pin, if you can fit it in, you can say, hey, contact me for any questions or something or whatever. That's fine. You can't even spammy things like make sure you like or share. You could do it one way where it's not spammy, and another way where you're rewarding people for spam. Don't be spammy. Encourage people organically to engage with your content on any platform. You're safe. When you start doing short and sweet little like bullets, like, like and I'll like back, or follow my account and I'll follow back. No good. You will sooner or later get busted. The algorithms are getting the deep neural machine learning, that's a thing, is getting way smarter than a fifth grader, way smarter than a seventh grader. And it's only going to evolve. Even newer platforms are going to have the hurry up offense because they're getting programmers who used to work for other companies. So it's not going to be start from scratch anymore the way you're used to. So there is no official verified third-party app for, I believe, any platform that is allowing you to like for like and follow for follow and robotic bot-like stuff. There may be apps out there, but when you go to research, they're not officially verified. Like when I talk to you guys about flick.tech, that's not a follow for follow thing. That's a hashtag research thing that's meant for Instagram. But you can also take those results and you can compare and contrast, and they will help you with Twitter. Oh, Twitter. TikTok. I can't even scream at Jack Dorsey anymore. He's gone. Coward. But honestly, it can help you with any hashtag based account. Instagram, most importantly, but TikTok and Twitter, and if you're using hashtags elsewhere, it'll help you. but it's meant for Instagram. That's an official verified third-party app, or I would not dare to, I don't care what it's doing. I would never encourage you to use something, whether it's for research or to better your stuff on an app, unless it's a design thing. Okay, that's aside. But if it's not an official verified third-party app, I don't want egg on my face. Bridget says, Twitter. Okay, cool. So we talked about TikTok, we talked about Pinterest, and I will just very quickly say when it comes to repurposing content, in this window or this snapshot of time, it could change weeks to months later. There's my disclaimer. But right now, if you have a YouTube channel with evergreen content on it and you can reformat it, I would right now paste that reformatted video to IGTV, Instagram TV now, and to TikTok. And if it's 10 minutes or less, it's fair game. So if you do have any video that you can repurpose, now would be the time to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not stupid. I'm going to take advantage of it because a couple of weeks from now, any sort of like Glory Days, Wild Wild West, like we're desperate to make this longer content work. And now that we have older people on our platform, 30s and 40s is the fastest growing demographic on TikTok. Guess I'm going to give, everybody, I'm going to kill the fatted calf for all the people who will create slightly longer content. But am I saying create it from scratch if you've already got it and can reformat it? No, for the first week or two, I would just be reformatting and sharing it both on Instagram TV, 10 minutes or under, and on TikTok. Once you have that up to 10 minutes message unlocked, update your app. It's not something I would say to do forever, and that's all you do. What happens if you don't have longer content? You create it. But don't go to 9-10 minutes just because you can, because people will fatigue if you're just dragging it out to drag it out. The content, of course, has to be good. Let's see. Jackie, you're going to have to watch the replay. We got into the up to 10 minutes on TikTok. My thoughts about why they're doing it now, because they just unlocked up to 3 minutes like last summer. They're not even waiting a whole year. Jackie, man, you're going to rule the earth if you follow, because I know where you're at, girl. You're going to rule the earth if you do the quick and dirty, repurposing of content for the up to 10 minutes on TikTok. And you may as well post it to Instagram TV too, because Instagram's desperate to stay in the video game. They're going to push you out a bit more. So that's really going to help you there, Miss Jackie. And I talked about the selfish reasons and the selfless reasons why TikTok is doing that. Talking to my back channels, doing my research, I'm very, very bullish on you putting at least longer videos on TikTok and Instagram TV. I think for the next couple weeks, especially if you optimize this stuff, the titles, the descriptions, the hashtags, you're going to get such an unfair advantage. You're going to think you're stealing. It's so great. I also talked about Pinterest and how they are trying to get pinners to think of themselves as influencers and to grow legit communities, but how follow for follow, like for like, you follow my board, I'll follow yours. The algorithms are already picking that stuff up. They're going to continue to. It goes against terms of service. It's going to get flagged as spam. But is it a bad idea to grow organically and to think of yourself that way, to have that mindset shift and to encourage people to ask questions or whatnot? Sure. But at the end of the day, the whole point of your pins isn't just to build a community on a platform. You're doing a favor for Pinterest or any other platform. Who the hell cares? You're not making money that way unless you get into the creator fund on TikTok, let's say, or Instagram says you're an influencer that qualifies to get paid. Cool. Or you're part of the partner program on YouTube. Awesome. But that aside, most of y'all watching me are not part of the influencer mindset or business model. If you are, fine, but still, the whole point of posting a pin is to get somebody to double click on that pin. Actually, Jackie was someone who this time, excuse me, who this time last year joked that when I put stuff out, it's like Pokemon. You gotta collect them all, right? I actually used that comment in a lesson I was putting together for Social Pin Shortcut. Jackie actually inspired that. I don't know if I ever told you that, Miss Jackie, but I said if you don't have wording on your pins to encourage people, or an arrow, or both, to get people to click on your pin to get it to open up to read the pin description, people are just going to collect your pretty images and your ideas on whatever board they have as just users. So they're not being spammy, they're just collecting their own stuff. And it's going to be like, gotta collect them all. And they put them there and they either never look at them again. How many of us have collected things and we've never used them again, right? Or it's a long, cold day in hell before they go and look at what they've collected. You don't want that. You're not just there to, create content for people's inspiration. You're not just there creating content to get a platform to like you. You're there and to build a community. Yes, it's lovely, but we're not all trust fund kids. We have to make money. So if they're not tapping on that pin to get it open, there's a data point the algorithm likes to see, and they don't click on a link to go to a sales page or an email opt-in form or whatever, you're wasting your time on Pinterest, or really any other platform for that matter. You're entrepreneurs watching this. Even if you're an influencer, you still want someone to click on a link to go to something where you could get affiliate income from. Or if you're running a sponsor deal, you need to get them clicks and sales, or you're not going to get another sponsorship deal. So even in someone going with the influencer model, even if you're a blogger, you want to drive traffic to every page and post you can on your blog. Do you run ads on your blog and you get AdSense revenue or something like that way? Are you selling your own stuff there? Are you selling merch as an influencer or anybody else? I mean, you could even have a jewelry business like Melissa Pickle does, and she has her pickle peeps and stuff, and she sells merch, right? So, I mean, seriously, she's done it in the past. I have other students that once they get a big community together, they can sell merch. It might not be the biggest income stream they get, but it's an income stream nonetheless. And then go for affiliate income too, like I do. I make nice affiliate income from flick.tech, but I also use it. And it's also the thing that I would have you do when you're doing hashtag research for Instagram for sure, and then for use on Twitter and TikTok as well. Okay. So you don't want gotta collect them all. So what I want you guys to do is to start cross-pollinating during this quick and dirty wild, wild west time. By the way, if you haven't given this video a big thumbs up live or on the replay, please make sure you do, because even on the replay, this is going to push this out to more of my subscribers / students, and I want them to be able to get this suggested in their feed. It ain't because Stacey's going to be happy that she got so many thumbs up. Like, that's nice and all, but it's not about me. It's about me getting this video out to more people. Because even though you hit that subscribe button, you tap and select all to get all notifications, dirty little secret on YouTube, even then you don't necessarily get all of the notifications unless you are super crazy hyper engaged with that idea, with that creator, and sometimes even then you don't get it. So I don't know if it's something they have to fix. All right. Does anyone have any questions about, if you don't understand what size everything needs to be as you repurpose part of a video to go and be a video pin on Pinterest? Or, can I really use my under 10-minute vertical video for Instagram TV on TikTok now? You can. I posted an article this morning that I curated in my Content Marketing for Conversions Facebook group. Make sure you join it. It's free. There'll be 2 freebies for you for joining anyway in the files tab of that group, but you'll also see that article that I shared, and that's going to save you a lot of time, because as all these platforms are doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on both short form video and increasingly long form video, you don't want to miss out on the stupid easy growth. Again, if I had $1 for every newbie that whined to me, oh, if only I was on Instagram 10 years ago, even 9 or 8 years ago, I'd have a huge business if I really worked it, of course. Sure. But you know what? Instagram Reels, and yes, Instagram TV, although I'm more bullish about Reels because they're pushing that out more, but they are giving extra juice to the Instagram TV videos because if they don't make it with this run, it's over. So they're trying to really spoil you. They're giving you that dopamine hit with the extra boost that you keep creating content. Good. If you're a paid student of mine, you know how to get those, you know how to get the traffic that you're driving to your business to give you more of the business conversions you need to succeed. So Bridget says, oh, off topic, do you get SEO dinged if you use the same hashtags on all platforms? And Canva Pro has new collections where you make one piece of content and they reformat it into other sizes. So yeah, Canva Pro, which I think is $99 a year. I love it. I recommend it. And, talk to your tax preparer, whom I am not, because you might be able to write that off against income. Odds are you can, but this isn't tax advice. This is issue spotting. Disclaimer. Yes, what is it? They call it the magic resize thing. So that saves you a whole bunch of time in terms of graphics or photos or GIFs or GIFs or other images that you might create. Anything that you can put in Canva Pro, you use that magic resize feature and then you can share it out quicker on other social media. So I do recommend that you use that. Thank you for reminding me about that. Don't use the same cluster of hashtags over and over again repeatedly on the same platform. After a while, we don't know how long, you can probably get away with it back to back in posts, but I still wouldn't recommend that you do it because eventually it's going to be considered spam type behavior. Anything that's too rote, too repetitive, whether it's like for like, or you're commenting too many times. I've gone to Facebook jail just for commenting too many times in my own group. Oh my goodness. That happens to me a lot in Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. When I'm in there and I'm hot and heavy and my peeps are in there, I go to Facebook jail. I tag too many new people in that group, I go to Facebook jail. How many are too many? They don't give you the official word because they don't want bots and software and you to game the system, but I would say do about like one a minute or two, and that might spread it out enough. Just shooting from the hip there. Bridget says, no, not magic resize. It's a new feature. Okay. Do you know the name of that new feature? Oh, it's collections. You said it. Okay, that's new. I didn't know about that. Thank you. Look at Bridget being an advanced leader now. I love it. I want you guys to share stuff. I'm not magical oracle Stacey on the mountain. I know everything the minute it posts. That's cool. Where do we find that? Says Heidi to Bridget. Well, don't ask me. Bridget's telling me now. Woo, I love it. I want to empower you guys to become leaders, okay? I do. So you can get SEO dinged. Mix it up. It's okay to have, like, let's pretend you're doing a feed post, an Instagram TV, or a reel, and you want to use your 30 hashtags, or at least go to 20, whatever. Your core can be like, if you have 10 core hashtags that are part of that overall cloud or constellation of hashtags, you can do that. But there must be others that are different for, that of course should relate to that post and that you're not using in that same main constellation. So Jones has like 2-3 hashtag constellations. And then when I'm doing the posting, I'll copy and paste it because everything in that constellation relates to our account, relates to our content generally, and does relate, of course, specifically to that particular piece of content and the message that's behind it, but I will usually add, even if it's just 2-3 more hashtags, so it's not copy paste. Also, even when you're responding or engaging to people, whether it's in the DMs or whether it's openly in terms of comments on your content or you're commenting on someone else's content, please don't copy paste, because even in a less tight compressed period of time, it's going to trigger a spam filter. Again, this goes back to why follow for follows, likes for likes, and all of those things. They don't feel natural. They're repetitive. They're going to trigger filters. It's not a good user experience for those reading through the comments. Thanks. You know what I mean? It's going to be like on the user's end, even if they're not an entrepreneur, even if they're not a content creator and simply a content consumer, they're going to be like, well, that's dry, and the same pins over and over again. Pin, the same pin. Come on, don't you hate it? Hadn't you ever noticed on Pinterest, if you're searching things up, you see like 12 of the same pins come up mixed with other stuff too. And you're like, it's not a good user experience. It's also gaming the system and it's not cool. And it's not like truly real engagement. So if you're like, but I don't have a ton of time and I'm only going to be like, engaging on a platform for 30 minutes a day, well, then go into the Notes app on your phone or something similar and have a bunch of different comments and then like toggle between all of them. And then occasionally add a little something extra. So it kind of gives you an alley-oop. Because I get it. I'm busy too. What do you think? I have no family and no house to clean? No food to cook? Come on. Bridget says, I was thinking of using the same hashtag clouds on a similar post on Twitter, Shorts, Instagram, and Facebook and Pinterest. You go, girl. I love it. And that's one of the ways with a similar kind of like recipe that Melissa blew up her account much, much bigger. And of course, her income much, much bigger, which has allowed her to reinvest back into her business quite a bit. And now she can do other things because she can afford more software and more this and more that. And now there's more streams of income and hello. So I don't think that using the same or similar clouds of hashtags on the different platforms hurt you, because there's not one master like algorithm that goes, oh, you're spamming between all those. No. So don't worry about that. And that may not be what you're saying, Bridget, but there's a lot of people that are going to watch this live or on the replay, right? So there's no such thing as a dumb question. I'm in my early 50s. This stuff was witchcraft to me like 10 years ago, okay? But I really learned it and then started using it and then helped myself, my friends, my family. People started paying me, even friends and family, and boom, for 8+ years now, I've taught this stuff. So I've been soaking in this and marinating in this, and I'm probably going to do it more than any of you, which is what I'm good for and why you want to keep coming back to me. So Bridget says, Heidi, are you in one of Stacey's groups? If you are, I'll screen shoot. Oh, she's going to show you where to get, if you have Canva Pro, the new collections feature. That's really cool. Bridget, you can go nuts and post it in all the groups if you want to. I think that's great. You certainly don't have to, no pressure. But you found it. Take credit. Take your leadership lap. God bless you. Heidi says, yup, I'm in all the Frostins, Funnel Dynasty, and Social Talk Shortcut. God bless you, Heidi. Heidi says, thank you with a heart to Miss Bridget. And Bridget says, that's why you tweak even the awesome popularity plan stuff. Yeah, thank you. That's the digital packets that we sell every month to help you guys do at least your once a week email marketing in that packet. And then, cover roughly half the month in relationship marketing posts. You can always add stuff in the pre-written captions that go with the graphics so that, you can say, hey, and PS, I'm having a sale, right? Or whatever other call to action you want. Click in the link in bio. Usually it's good to keep it to one call to action, but occasionally you can do two. I do two, and lots of times it can work. But a lot of times I like to keep it down to one call to action. The longer the content is, the more you can get away with more than one call to action. Like I definitely make more than one call to action in my YouTube videos. Because in the beginning I'll say, hey, this is the type of content I create. And if you need that kind of help, smash the subscribe button, click the bell notification, and select all. That's really one holistic call to action. Towards the end of my videos, I will usually drive you now to an email opt-in form, right? So that email opt-in form allows me to build my business because roughly 3/4 of your sales from month to month come from your email list. The other quarter is from your website and social media and all that. You want to increase your income. Yes, make more offers in a month. If somebody's on an email business list and they don't like being sold to, they weren't going to buy from you anyway. You don't care when they unsubscribe. But in addition, you want to train your people up that you are a business and you do run sales, and people stop buying from you when you stop selling. So that works no matter what business model you have, no matter what you're selling and who you're selling it to. Or for my older students, when I used to say all the time, your niche, your pitch, your product, and your sitch or situation. Lenore says, can you tag me on that? I'm trying to learn Canva. I'm Canva dumb, despite being an Adobe Suite user for over 20 years. Yeah, if somebody's like, should I get Adobe Illustrator or anything that's in the Adobe Creative Cloud now and stuff like that, that's super expensive. I'd much rather you just go Canva Pro, quite frankly, because you can do a lot in Canva Pro now. And obviously, they're adding in more features for the pro people, especially to be more competitive with the Adobe Creative Suite people. So Bridget said that's exactly what I wanted to know, if I would get an SEO jail for cross-posting hashtags. That's a fair question, Bridget. You don't know what you don't know, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. The only dumb question that's out there is the one you don't ask. So no, you won't. If you use that constellation on other platforms for, like, say, a post that you're putting up for the day, you're fine. There's no master platform, master algorithm that's going to get you. And of course, it makes sense because every social media platform is a social media search engine. Every social media platform, at least keywords will help you. And if hashtags are being used to index content, then hashtags too. Why would your hashtags work differently in any appreciable way on TikTok versus Twitter versus Instagram? That's why I say Flick is a worthy investment for you. You can get 1 week free by going in the show notes or the description down below, live or on the replay, and you can get a free week. I think everything is unlocked for that free week, and then they offer you packages. It is a paid feature, but here's the deal. I have tried and tried and tried to use freebie stuff to at least say to my people who are like, I can't buy anything this year. I wish I could honestly say, well, invest in Flick when you can, but this will help you with, nope, I can't. Some of them suck worse than others, but they all suck. So unfortunately, I can say that Canva, the free version, you can do a lot. So if you can't afford Canva Pro right now, put that on your wish list. If you're picking between Canva Pro and Flick.tech, I would say to get Flick.tech because your stuff could be gorgeous, but if you're not optimizing it right for Instagram and then you use it on Twitter and TikTok, well, guess what? You did all this work and no one or almost no one seeing it, right? So what's more important? Getting your stuff seen and then making it more perfect and more beautiful and more varied and stuff. That's important too. But if it's not getting seen, who cares? It's like you're screaming into a void and nobody sees you. Oh, so for their brick and mortar type business, or maybe also their online business too, Bridget says we have Adobe for the laser stuff and I love it, but Canva Pro all the way for social media speedy time blocks. I agree. All right. Does anybody have any other questions for me? I'm just going to take a quick sip. We've been going for almost an hour and a half. Really? Good Lord. Do I love you guys or what? Make sure you get the mint batch of frosting if you don't already. It's under $50. It's 8 lessons. It comes with a Facebook group that is a bunch of my past live streams that are also March centric. And the replays are in there. So go on ahead and get that if you want. It's only March 2nd. Well, this is live. There's plenty of March left to get some real marketing in and sales in besides the St. Patrick's Day sale. Bridget says, I will post a few. I'll let Stacey share as needed. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to go to Facebook jail for all of Stacey's crews. I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you. So that's cool. Thank you for sharing that and tagging Heidi and Lenore, I believe. I think both of them needed you to tag them. I love the buddy system that goes on here. If you want to join our community, Content Marketing for Conversions is my free Facebook group. You get 2 freebie PDFs when you join. You're admitted. Go to the Files tab up top. There's 2 really cool files that are there. And Bridget says, and Mint was my first Stacey course. I went back and checked. Yay! Okay, I do think that tomorrow and Friday, I will sell the reverse course Funnel Fairy Godmother course. I'm not going to put out any new courses this year. I'm just going to be updating and re-releasing courses. The Frostin' courses are evergreens, so they don't need to be updated. And really, the Funnel Fairy Godmother mini courses are about individual stumbling blocks that people might have in their business, especially in terms of their content marketing. And all of those are evergreen. So reverse curse is like if you feel that your business is cursed and nobody's seeing you, or you launch stuff and nobody cares. You're a coach and a course creator, you have cart open, cart close, and nobody cares. Reverse curse will show you how to overcome that stumbling block. And there's 4 parts to that stumbling block. So if you don't have the reverse curse course, that's also under $50 too. I will release that. If you guys want another PDF that I have for total free, you can go to don'tbeafakeguru.com. I love that. I was so hoping I could get that domain name, and I could. Don'tbeafakeguru.com. And that'll get you another goodie too. So if you're in Funnel Dynasty, you already have that goodie in the first part of the members area when you come in. So don't worry about that. You guys have that. You're already on my email list anyways. You already have it. You're covered. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.